Welcome to my views and news. Three news stories. First one is about a statement from Ethiopian Orthodox Church about the imprisonment of Orthodox Church officials in prison in Oromia for more than a month now. The church is asking Oromia Regional President to honor his commitment. Secondly, viewers, a Protestant pastor has been released from prison last night. He was released, a pro-Orthodox pastor who is basically a Protestant, but he's a very staunch supporter of Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Thirdly, was two Oromia region-based members of parliament say that they are going to break silence. They are going to speak out. Who are the two members of parliament? What have they been saying in the past? Are we going to see a campaign through these two members of parliament against Oromia region's president Shimalis Abdisa? What are they expected to say? Firstly, viewers, it was almost a month when there were clashes between security forces and Orthodox Church followers in West RC, Shashamane. A splinter Orthodox faction backed by Oromia forces tried to take control of St. Michael's Church in Shashamane, West RC. Orthodox Church administration and followers, they resisted this attempt. Security forces intervened. There was confrontation. Security forces opened fire. Orthodox followers were injured, killed, and some were arrested too. Like public relations in charge of Shashamane West RC was arrested. One Vosan Telahun, arrested around 32 days ago. Solomon Zigai, another church official, was arrested too. And a month has passed, but they have not been released so far. Though we know that the rival factions of the Orthodox Church signed an agreement more than 2 weeks ago, and federal government, Oromia government, they agreed to the release of these church workers and Orthodox followers. We know that there was a meeting a few days ago between church officials, church archbishops, and Oromia region's president Shimalis Abdisa. At the meeting, one of the key issues raised by church archbishops was the release of these church officials and Orthodox followers. And Oromia region's president promised to release them, but so far no release. That is why Orthodox Church today released a statement calling for the release of West RC church officials. The church is asking Oromia region's president to release them. Secondly, I shared a video yesterday showing splinter Orthodox faction clergymen and Oromia regional government officials accompanied by some top members of Ethiopian Islamic Affairs Supreme Council. And it is being said that this Ethiopian Islamic Affairs Supreme Council Majlis is supporting splinter Orthodox faction, which is illegal according to Orthodox Church led by Abu Nematis. A viewer contacted me. He said, Sajid, the meeting was held in Oromia with participation of all religious institutions. The meeting was intended to back the call for peace, as OLA and Oromia government in separate statements showed their interest for start of talks. And maybe the video was recorded when the Orthodox splinter faction clergymen held meetings with the Islamic Affairs Council, Majlis, and Oromia government officials. Well, the meeting, which was called by all religious institutions in Oromia, was attended by Abune Saviros. But the video which I shared with you yesterday showed Abba Gebre Gizaber, who is from West RC Shashamane. Yesterday's video, I don't think, is linked to the meeting called regarding talks between OLA and Oromia Regional President. Video could be old. We don't have any solid information how fresh is this video. But several sources are saying that Islamic Affairs Council, Majlis, is supporting splinter Orthodox faction, because this faction is now in charge in Oromia. Majlis will stand with those bishops, those clergymen, Orthodox sect who would be in charge in Oromia. And so far, main dioceses are being controlled by the splinter faction. Entire Valaga, East Valaga, West Valaga, Bune Gabriel, Bune Barsoma, RC as well. I think Southern Oromia too, they are under the control of splinter faction. Secondly, viewers, Biniam Shitaye, a Protestant pastor, has been released from prison yesterday. Last night, we saw pictures after he was released. Biniam Shitaye has been a very staunch supporter of Orthodox Church. Last year, there was a confrontation between Protestants and Orthodox followers at Mescal Square. Orthodox Church claims ownership of Mescal Square. Addis Ababa government rejects this claim of Orthodox Church. Protestants tried to organize a gathering there. There was a confrontation. Several were injured. And back then, I remember that Biniam Shitaye backed Orthodox Church's position. And in recent confrontation between rival faction Orthodox Church, Biniam Shitaye stood with Orthodox Church led by Abune Matthias. He was arrested after he said that splinter faction Orthodox Church archbishops were they wanted to apologize because they were finding it difficult to get following in Oromia. He was arrested and now he has been released. Thirdly, two Oromia region-based members of parliament are going to break silence. They're going to speak. In the past, they've been very vocal, very critical against Oromia regional government. Could we see hard times ahead for Oromia President Shimalis Abdisa? Who are these two members of parliament? Firstly, Hangasa Ibrahim. Secondly, Taye Dandia. If you remember, it was Hangasa who said that Kareo Oromo elders were not killed by OLA but by Oromia regional forces. Taye Dandia has also been very critical of Oromia region's president. He has been denying the involvement of Oromo Liberation Army in massacres which happened in Valaga, in which dozens of innocent civilians were killed. The majority of them were Amharas last year. And back then, Taye Dandia had said that it was Oromia government forces and government-backed groups which were involved in the incident which happened in Tole, I think. Tole, Kabale, East Valaga, if I remember correctly. So the two are not supporters of OLA, but they're very critical of Shimalis Abdisa. And the two have been largely silent recently. We did not see any statement from them. And they are known for being vocal. They speak very critical of TPLF, especially Taye Dandia is very critical of TPLF. When there was fighting ongoing in northern Ethiopia last year, on daily basis almost, Taye Dandia was tweeting, speaking, criticizing TPLF. Now it seems that two are going to speak. Target of criticism could be Shimalis Abdisa. And are we going to see a political change in Oromia, that these two are being launched? And the purpose could be to put pressure upon Shimalis Abdisa to remove them. Who is behind Hangasa Ibrahim and Tayed and the let's see. In coming days, they are going to speak out reportedly. Thank you for watching.